I want to kind of go in depth and give you some more information on the anti-gravity batteries that we carry on our website. A lot of you guys ask questions like, is this battery good for a daily driver? You know, does weather affect this battery? And so I'm going to address some of those questions and talk to you about who the customer is for each of these batteries that we carry. Our go-to battery is the ATX30 RS, or RS stands for Restart Battery. The ATX30 we sell the most of and is a pretty universal battery. It has 880 cranking amps and it has 16 amp hours of storage capacity. This is the most lightweight battery that we carry and use in the type of vehicles that we build. 5.5 pounds, all together with a stainless box is about 9 pounds. So the limitations of this battery are that the storage capacity is only 16 amp hour. This is fine for all of us that do a lot of track days, a lot of autocrossing, and have limited electronics. That being said, this battery is in Capone. This battery's been in Capone for over a year now, year and a half. It gets driven quite frequently, and it also gets stored for long periods of time. That truck has twin fuel pumps, it has twin brushless fans, has a normal radio, it has air conditioning, and it gets driven, you know, so it is at stop signs and stoplights idling from time to time. Where you would have a problem with this battery is if you do not have a good alternator. So a lot of alternators will tell you how many amps they're rated for. So say you buy an alternator that says 165 amp alternator. What you need to do is you need to look at the specs on that alternator to see what its output is at idle. That's the only time that you would have a problem with this. So put yourself in the situation to where it's nighttime, it's summer, and you're at a stoplight or you're in traffic for an extended period of time. At that time, you'd have air conditioning on, your fans would be running, fuel pumps running, radios on, or all your lighting is on. So your consumption of amp hour has to be less than what the alternator is outputting. So if your alternator is only outputting, 18 amps at idle and you're consuming more than that, then you will slowly drain this battery. Where this battery is totally fine is when your alternator is off RPM and it's producing more amperage. So all of us track day guys, this battery is totally fine. You will never have a problem. And so as long as you have a good alternator and as long as you have the cable charging system wired correctly, this is totally good. If you have a fear of consuming too much amperage at idle or you're in traffic a lot, then this is the next step up. This is the ATX30 HD. The HD goes to 24 amp hours of storage capacity versus 16 amp hours of storage capacity. So it's not a lot more, but it's quite a bit more. And this one's an 880 cranking amp battery, and this one's a 970. So there's just more storage capacity. Physically, dimensionally, this is the same battery as this one. This one is just more storage capacity. So this battery fits in our normal battery box and is an awesome battery. The only thing that you give up when you step up to this much more storage capacity is the HD battery does not have the restart feature. I guess to go back and talk about what the restart feature is if you're not familiar with that, is if your system has any type of parasitic drain, or you've stored this battery for more than a year and it is starting to drop voltage, it'll sense that draw and it'll disconnect itself internally and it'll stop itself from going dead. That's why they call it the restart. So if you come outside in the springtime, you're ready to drive your truck or your car, you simply hit the reset button and it reconnects and you start up and you go. So that also addresses another question that we frequently get. What happens if this battery dies? How do I recharge it? I've definitely never had one of these batteries go dead yet. They protect themselves from a full discharge. But if you do want a maintainer, you have to have a lithium battery maintainer. CTEK makes one that's about $99. They're on Amazon. We can help sell you one. But a CTEK maintainer works good for this. So yeah, bigger battery, better storage, capable of more electronics, just does not have restart feature. If you have a sub and an amp or something that draws a lot more amperage, So for instance, our yellow truck that we're rebuilding has electronic power steering. So put yourself into the same situation, nighttime, lights on, fans on, and now we have electronic steering and we're trying to back up in a parking lot and turn. Our steering motor can consume 70 amps when you're steering. So again, we need a big battery that can hold that capacity, so that when we go turning and our idle and where RPM is at idle, we need to step up to this big dude. So this is the Group 35 battery from Anti-Gravity. This is much bigger. This is 1500 cranking amps and 40 amp hours of storage capacity. So this is more than 2 of these. This is 16, this is 40. These are 24, this is 40. Physically, it's a bigger battery. You know, amperage wise, all its ratings are much greater. This is a bigger, battery. This is the battery box that we make that is similar in design to our smaller battery boxes. It just holds the larger battery. Its bolt pattern is the same as the smaller battery. So if for some reason you changed what electronics you had and you had this battery and you feel that you needed to step to this battery, you can take that box off your frame. This one will go in the same holes on one side, and then you'll just re-drill you know, your holes on the other side of the battery. So the Group 35 battery also has restart technology, the same as the ATX30 battery, but if this is mounted in an inconvenient spot where you cannot get to the restart button, this battery comes with 2 key fobs. So again, if you're in an inconvenient spot and it is disconnected, you can simply hit the button and it will reconnect the battery. So this is a really handy feature, really big battery. This is the king of what we sell. However, this is probably double. Well, it's not double. It's a lot more expensive than the ATX30. For all pricing on all the batteries that we sell and all our battery boxes, all that stuff is on our website, level7motorsports.com. We are also selling wiring kits, stuff to help you install this and wire the charging systems in your vehicles. One of the things that we sell is we're selling a kit that comes with obviously all the 2-gauge cable and flex braid. We're selling you all the ring terminals for the ends of the battery cable. These are all for 2-gauge. We sell them with, in the kit, they'll have 3/8 holes and quarter holes. Quarter holes are what these little dudes take. If you buy this, we'll do a top post terminal. And then you get a 200 amp circuit breaker. And then you can get a feed through panel stud. So if you have a truck cab or a car where you need to get battery power into the cabin, these are nice, and you can run cable and power into the cabin. We get you all the terminals, heat shrink, and we'll also give you a link to our website that has the diagram on how we suggest that you do your starting and charging system. When you get all that, you have to crimp the ends onto the battery cable. You can go to your local Napa. I think that most Napa stores will crimp these for you. But if you want the ease of doing it yourself, also on our website are these handy little crimpers. These are pretty cool. You just put the terminal in here, hold this with a wrench, and you can tighten this side down with a ratchet and you can crimp it. And then slide your adhesive line heat shrink over the terminal, heat that dude up real good, and you're good to go. One last little thing I want to talk about is a lot of guys are saying, how do I know if this is dead? You know, since I don't have a normal charger, normal maintainer, how do I know how this battery's doing? This is the battery tracker. The battery tracker wires to the battery and Bluetooths to your cell phone. So at any time during the winter, you can get on your phone and you can see voltage and storage capacity, how much is left in it. You can see if it's disconnected. Or if you put this battery in and you're driving around, this is a good way for you to also check your charging and starting system. So you'll be able to monitor everything through this handy little tracker. So anyways, this is all the stuff that we're selling for batteries, charging systems. So check it out on our website, level7motorsports.com. Thanks a lot.